You know, I love that theme song. Hey, everyone, and welcome again to the PopRewind Podcast. I'm Lee.
And I'm Linz.
And we're your nostalgic tour guides through the magical world of retro, vintage, 80s, 90s.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. We've done some of our tours. We've looked out the left of the bus, and we've seen movies. And this time, I think we're going to look out the right of the bus. What do you see over there in the distance?
I think I see some old Kool-Aid and expired cereals.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know what this means?
I couldn't possibly guess.
We're going to be talking about snacks from the past. You know, let's talk a little bit about stuff that's come back from the snack graveyard recently. These are snacks that, like, we assumed were just gone forever, and they've come back. We got to taste them at least one more time.
I know. I was very excited, actually, for the Kool-Aid stuff that came back last year.
Oh, that was amazing.
We saw all the mascot flavors minus Incrediberry, which I'm a little sad we didn't see Incrediberry. But we saw Sharkleberry, Great Blue Dini, Rockadile Red, Purple Saurus Rex, and Pink Flamingo all back in stores.
Yeah. And Great Blue Dini, I mean, that just tastes like nothing else to me. What a delightful flavor. Especially to have a magician octopus on the package for the Kool-Aid packet as well.
I think that might be one of the top packages. They really went out for that one.
Yeah, that one was pretty top-notch. Purple Saurus Rex, that's another favorite.
Unfortunately, those were all discontinued again. You can still sometimes find them, depending on how popular or high traffic your grocery store is, but Sharkleberry is now a regular flavor.
Yeah, I've seen that one even in the Jammers pouch as well.
Which is great, and maybe that will lead the way for Incrediberry one day.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope. You know, sadly, not everybody shows up to the high school reunion. You know, another beverage that I assumed was gone, and for years people were trying to get this beverage back, and I remember following it in the very early days with the movement, and I was thrilled when it came back, was Surge.
Oh, geez. That's an extreme 90s beverage.
Yeah, Surge, what an extreme 90s soda indeed. And it was brought back in kind of a small run on Amazon, and I like waited like I think weeks to be able to click on it and buy one. It kept selling out, and I got it, and I've been saving one can. They're very tall cans, so if you drink the whole thing, you are up all night.
Your vision starts going all buggy.
Oh, boy, is it delicious. If I have to work late, I have a Surge.
Now, you can still get that on Amazon as long as you have some good timing, right?
As far as I know.
Nice.
Yeah, but the cans are so tall, that's going to last me another 100 years.
Well, I guess less extreme and more peaceful. We've got Clearly Canadian coming back, allegedly in August. There was an online pre-order for them recently, and they were discontinued back in the mid-90s, but it was just kind of like a sparkling, fruit-flavored water.
And see, I like sparkling water, so I'm excited for that.
You will like this. They had 4 flavors coming back, so as long as all goes well, I'll have 4 cases of it in August.
And those delightful curvy bottles, too, right?
Very true.
You know, let's move away from beverages a bit. Do you know what I like in particular that kind of came back was Dr. Pepper gum.
Oh, yes. That was actually pretty good. I ended up picking up a pack.
Yeah, in fact, I have a package right here, and I was thinking live on the podcast, I'd open it up and smell it to see if it still smells. It smells just like the Dr. Pepper gum in the 90s did.
You're not going to chew it on the podcast, are you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take a piece, unwrap it, and cram it in my mouth. So, I always liked Dr. Pepper gum when it came out, because you'll get it back then. This isn't quite the same. Back then, Dr. Pepper gum had like this filling in the middle of it, and you'd bite into it, and it would like squirt in your mouth, or just slowly leak out.
So it was like a syrup or something?
Yeah, I think it was basically like the soda syrup.
Oh, weird.
Oh, so good. But
thank you for chewing it all over our ears.
You're welcome. It still tastes and smells just like I remember, though.
That is pretty good, because usually, sometimes the snacks don't really hold up. So I'm glad Dr. Pepper Gum came through for you. One thing that came back, and it's kind of a seasonal thing, so it keeps coming back, are the Monster cereals.
Yeah.
Every year we get the big three back, so Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry.
Which, I mean, let's face it, the Count runs that show. It's all about Count Chocula.
Great mascot, tasty cereal.
Yeah, it looks just like Mr. Burns. I mean, it's amazing. One year I saw they brought back Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy.
Yeah, that was a nice treat, too.
Yeah, that was a little unexpected.
As long as they keep bringing back Count Chocula, I'll be happy.
You know, there's some other things that might be coming back. One of them I'm very excited about. I think you are too, actually.
Probably.
I believe it's Crystal Pepsi.
Oh, you're right. I haven't had, well, obviously no one's really had that since the early 90s.
I'm sure a few people have. You know, one time I looked at buying some off eBay. There's still some you can buy with the liquid in it. And I called Pepsi and I asked, do you think I should buy this and drink it? And they said, no, we don't recommend drinking a 20-year-old bottle of soda.
Good call on Pepsi's
I took their advice. But I'm very excited to see Crystal Pepsi possibly making a comeback. It's a rumor right now, but we're hoping it's a true one.
It seems like a pretty solid it's coming back, but no official announcement has been made. But I'm hoping, and I'm also assuming that it's the original Crystal Pepsi that's coming back, because later they reformulated it into a weird citrusy kind of beverage.
Now, I know there's some type of Save Fruitopia group out there that's trying to get it back in the States, but you were telling me in Canada, you still have Fruitopia.
Yeah, so when I came across that group on Facebook, I was really confused. We don't have the individual glass bottles that they originally came in, but we have kind of a milk carton style and the frozen concentrate of Fruitopia, and I actually just bought the tangerine orange one not too long ago.
And see, I would love it if they brought back that vanilla cherry flavor.
We pretty much just have basic flavors like the tangerine and a fruit punch one, so it's nothing real fancy, but it's still Fruitopia.
Hey, at least you've got it. You know what we still have, kind of, is Citra.
Kind of?
Yeah. Here's some stuff that didn't go away, is Citra.
Okay.
So Citra was another soda that was released shortly after Surge from Coca-Cola, and it just kind of slowly disappeared, but it turns out it got rebranded as a Fanta beverage. And so...
Well, it's nice that you still have it.
Yeah, it's a kind of a harder flavor to find, but it's kind of like a grapefruit soda, and it's very good. I had some maybe about a year ago. I liked it.
Now, I saw a list of discontinued cereals online recently, and actually a lot of them are not discontinued.
Like what?
There's Waffle Crisp. There's French Toast Crunch, which we've always had in Canada, but apparently you guys are getting back now.
People are very excited.
Rice Krispie Yes, I mean, that's like standard Canadian fare here. I don't know. Rice Krispie Treat cereal and Berry Berry Kicks.
I had a bowl of Rice Krispie Treat cereal this morning, actually, so I can assure you that it is still being made.
Or it's just really old.
I can assure you I may have eaten an old box of Rice Krispie Treat cereal.
Oh, I was at the dollar store the other day and actually purchased it. I bought some garbage candy.
You bought the whole dollar store?
I bought a whole dollar store. No, I bought a container of garbage candy, which I thought was long discontinued.
Garbage candy. Explain this.
So it is a plastic container shaped like a trash can, and inside the candy there's like these little tarts, and they're all shaped like garbage. So there's like a fish bone and a shoe and other garbagey type shapes. And when I opened it up, it smelled like garbage.
Woo.
There was an odor. Yeah, I know. So I did not eat those.
Eee. Well,
yeah.
I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
I liked them, and I ate them all.
Oh. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Between that and the old Rice Krispie Treat cereal, you're pretty much a goner.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too well. You know what? Let's lighten the mood a bit with some snacks from the past they don't make anymore. These are things that, you know, as far as we know, are gone. Maybe there's still a bottle of some rarity sitting on a shelf at a convenience store in the Midwest.
But don't drink it. And don't eat it.
Yeah, that's probably great advice. But I'm going to say, at the top of the list, most people want this one thing to come back. Beverage from the past, What is it?
It's gotta be Ecto Cooler.
It's gotta be Ecto Cooler. Everybody wants this back. Ecto Cooler. It was high C. It had Slimer in the box from Ghostbusters. It was tangerine, but was green.
Yeah. You gotta love the all the artificial color in that thing.
Yeah, it was practically radioactive.
But actually, last time you were here, we made our own Ecto Cooler, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, we've got some pictures of that on the Instagram if you want to check that out. This thing's practically glowing.
But yeah, it was just a lot of tangerine, a lot of orange juice just kind of slapped together, a little bit of Country Time lemonade, and a little bit of cake vodka.
You're good to go. It kind of had the smell. You know what other beverage that I'd like to see come back is, it's kind of, what are you at, the 30th anniversary-ish here of New Coke?
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, and that got rebranded for a while as Coke 2.
That's pretty surprising, because that lasted quite a while as Coke 2, eh?
Yeah, I think up through the early 90s. I mean, here it was, the most hated beverage of all time, and they just changed the name of it and made it like a sequel Coke. Even
now,
Cokier. This time it's personal.
Was that a popular beverage over there?
Coke 2?
Yeah.
I can't say that I ever had it more than once. I was only ever able to find it one time. And it was at the Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta. And you would put your cup up under the fountain and it would shoot the soda across the room and into your cup. It was amazing. So I had like the coolest Coke 2 experience I could possibly have.
Probably a lot better than most people's New Coke experiences.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason I liked it so much.
Yeah. Actually, another drink that's kind of notorious would be Orbits, and that's from Clearly Canadian, which we mentioned earlier in the podcast.
So do you think they're going to bring Orbits back?
I hope so. They have a question on their FAQ, if you're me, about bringing back Orbits, but they're trying to figure out how to get the gel balls to be suspended in the liquid. Because yes, Orbits was a clear beverage, weird fruit combinations, and gel balls all over it.
Yeah, they had a lot going on with that. I remember when you would drink Orbits, you weren't sure if you were supposed to swallow the balls inside the beverage or not. But for some reason, it was so fun, I didn't care. I still bought it.
It was like a lava lamp.
Yeah, it was a drink that felt like a lava lamp.
It was really strange.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope if Clearly Canadian is successful with their original beverages, maybe they'll come back to Orbits and we'll see that in stores maybe one day.
Maybe. You know, there was another clear beverage around that time, but I bet you didn't have it.
What makes you say that?
Let's see some ID.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. You just got taken in by the Zima police.
Oh, that's the most embarrassing police to be taken in by.
Yeah. Do you remember Zima?
I remember the commercials, and actually a couple months ago, I got really curious about it because, I mean, we were born in the early 80s. We weren't of drinking age when this was out or discontinued. And I really wanted to try Zima. And I looked up a recipe, and one of the ingredients is this weird Japanese yogurt drink.
Yeah.
And that kind of weirded me out. So I'm not going to be making my own Zima quite yet, but there is a recipe out there if you're interested.
I think you should make your own Zima.
I don't know about that yogurt drink. Not a fan of yogurt.
Well, there's nothing like the Crystal Pepsi of beer. Oh, hey, I've got 2 words for you.
Oh, what are they?
Squeeze it.
Those were some good lunchbox treats.
Yeah, Squeeze It was that bottle that had the funny faces on it.
Those are really tasty. And I liked the gimmick, too.
Yeah. You remember, like, the tops on them?
Yeah, well, how can I forget? My entire schoolyard, it was just those little tops and those red sticks from the handy snacks.
Is that, like, litter that doesn't exist anymore? Is that being lost to time? Are people concerned that litter could be lost to time?
That might still be embedded in my old school soccer field.
There was a Squeeze It variety that changed colors. Like, the bottle was clear, came with a little pellet, and you would drop it in to the Squeeze It bottle, and it would change the color of it.
Oh, cool.
One time I put the pellet straight in my mouth. I regretted that. All right, so let's move on from beverages. We've talked a lot about beverages. Candies. What do you have?
I think my very top, most favorite candy, even still today, I would consider this my favorite candy, are Hot and Cool Nerds.
Excellent choice. Excellent.
I agree. And for the last, 20 years, I've been trying to track them down. They were discontinued long, long ago. But I just want, even an empty box of them. There's nothing online besides collectingcandy.com. He's got a trade ad where you can see the box, but there's no packaging anywhere. And it's really strange that nothing is available.
See, that's sad.
I even contacted Wonka, and they don't even have any in their archives.
Wait a minute. Willy Wonka doesn't have any of these?
He does not. Or he heard our podcast where I slammed his movie and was not cool with that.
Oh.
Oops. Either way, Hot and Cool Nerds were delicious. I would always eat the hot side first, and then I would cool my mouth off with the cool side.
Don't you still do that with hot tamales and wintergreen breath savers?
Yes, I do. Every time I go to the dollar store, I stock up on those things.
Jeez.
Not the same effect, but pretty much as close as I'm going to get at this point.
That's what I'm thinking. I kind of feel that same way about Lifesaver Holes.
Those are another good one.
Yeah. So the idea with those is they were lifesavers. And, lifesavers, they're the ring with a, there's a hole in them. The candy with the hole. Well, I guess the idea was this was the whole leftover, what they punched out from the candy. And so you'd buy a tube of them, almost like Tic Tacs, and you would just have a tube of Lifesaver Holes. And you didn't have to suck on them forever. You could just crunch it.
Yeah, because if you pop a Lifesaver, that's a 10-minute commitment.
Yeah, it basically is. I mean, you're stuck with it.
Another thing I really miss, and they might have it, but not for the 80s and 90s franchises, are those plastic character heads filled with little pieces of gum.
I remember those, yes.
Now, I know we probably both had the Sonic the Hedgehog one. I know I definitely still have mine.
You can take his spikes off and pull the gum out of the back of his head. It was like you're eating his gum brain.
Though, yeah, I love the figures it came with. I hated the gum, so I'd either give it away or, in the case of my Ren and Stimpy candy heads, still have the candy in it 20 years later.
Fun fact, I ate that gum a couple weeks ago.
You are really not doing well with any of those.
No, I really need to check expiration dates. Wow. Man, before I get too sick, let's move on to chocolates.
Let's. You know what one of my favorites is, and one of your favorites, I'm assuming?
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Probably cookies and cream Twix.
Oh, cookies and cream Twix. Yes.
Those are so good, and it makes me so sad that with all the other Twix varieties they brought back, no cookies and cream.
I know. I got so excited when they brought back that peanut butter Twix, and I thought, surely we're going to get the best Twix back. No. I'm still waiting, years later. And I'm also still waiting for PB Max to come back. PB Max was like a chocolate candy with peanut butter crammed in it. And it kind of came back as a Snickers branded spread a few years ago. And I got pretty excited about that.
Well, one thing that's sort of still around, but not technically, are tan M&Ms. So, I mean, you still have your regular M&Ms.
Right.
Just no tan color.
What? We have Crispy again?
We do have Crispy, but again, no tan in there.
Oh.
Those were replaced. Tan M&Ms were replaced in 95 by blue M&Ms. There was a call-in vote thing.
So I'm going to reveal something very big on the podcast here. I remember the call-in vote. I called in.
Did you really?
I did. I voted. Did
you vote for blue?
No, I didn't.
All right, then.
The choices were blue, purple, and pink. I voted for purple.
I would have pictured you voting for blue.
These days I probably would. But, at the time, I was feeling a purple M&M would be a pretty good fit in there.
I would have done a write-in vote for tan.
And just keep it. Now, I agree. I was also disappointed when tan M&Ms went away. You know what else was better back then?
No idea.
Cookies.
Ooh, I do like cookies.
Yeah, Magic Middles. That cookie was like the Keebler cookie filled with extra chocolate in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm surprised those are discontinued. There seems to be some bootleg brands, well, actual big brands, but kind of bootlegging the Magic Middle idea, but they're just not there.
I know. I get excited every time I see something that looks even vaguely similar, and I'll usually fall for it because I'm still wanting this snack from 20 years ago again. And, you know, one thing that's kind of disappointing, despite all these, like, Hollywood reboots, remakes, sequels, whatever, we're not seeing a lot of the old snackage come back. And I'm speaking specifically here of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they saturated the market back in the day, but, I mean, we got some stuff, like some Ninja Turtle brand stuff recently, but not like it was before.
No, not like it was before. I mean, before, you had, like, these Ninja Turtle cookies that came in a yellow bag, and they were little round things with sprinkles on them. Ninja Turtle cereal. Do you remember that? The Chex type pieces in there were supposed to be the nets they cast to capture bad guys. Because that happened.
That was kind of stretching it, yeah.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
And most iconic for the Ninja Turtles is probably their Hostess pies.
Oh, yeah. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies.
Yes.
They were pretty good. They were kind of like those fruit pies, except it had like this yellow pudding custard in it. And then the whole thing was dipped in like a green outer layer of frosting. And I gotta tell
delicious.
They were great. Somehow I would convince my parents to let me get one of these in the mornings before school sometimes. And they were good.
Part of a balanced breakfast.
Yeah, right? I was like... In the commercial, they called the filling mutagen goo. That's really what you want something you're going to eat to be called.
Well, if you're a kid, you want to be a Ninja Turtle, so I can see how that worked pretty well for them.
Yeah, I started hanging out in the sewers with the rat. It was awesome. Ninja Turtles had a few other things, too. Fruit snacks, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, like, pizza-flavored stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then, kind of like everything, they had those tart candies. You know what I'm talking about. It's like that same candy.
Oh, yeah.
They just changed the shape for whatever the current trend is.
Yeah.
And so I used those as a recipe once. Did I ever tell you this?
How would you use them as a recipe?
My dad would always keep a case of Diet Mountain Dew in the backseat of his car. That was like his road snack. And
okay.
I went out there with a friend of mine, and we got a can of this warm Diet Mountain Dew. Dropped some of these Ninja Turtle tart candies at the bottom of a cup, poured in the warm Mountain Dew, essentially let it ferment for an hour or so, came back and drank it, and pretended it was beer.
Did you put it back in the fridge?
No.
So it would...
Warm.
Oh.
Summer heat warm.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I grew up thinking that I would hate beer because of this.
As someone who brews their own beer, this horrifies me.
Hey, let's try this sometime. Can we drop a few of these in there?
We cannot.
Ow.
Well, there are other franchises that we sadly haven't seen too much of resurgent in snack foods for. One of them would be Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah. Boy, there was a ton of Ghostbusters stuff.
Now, we saw last year for the 30th anniversary, we saw Krispy Kreme come out with Ghostbusters donuts.
Which were amazing and filled with some kind of marshmallow substance.
That was so good.
Yep.
I'm a little sad the Krispy Kreme here closed, but those are really tasty.
But, you know, I don't think we've seen the ice cream bars come back.
No, the ice cream bars. Are those like the ice cream truck ones with the gumball eyes?
Yeah, you know, where you can get like the Sonic the Hedgehog bar and the gumball eyes are like all over his face. Yeah, I think it was one of those kind of deals. There's a Ghostbusters cereal.
A lot of Ghostbusters candies, too.
There was a lot of Ghostbusters candy. Like those gummy fruit trays.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a mold of Slimer made out of gumminess, which was actually a pretty clever candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it made him a gooey ghost. That was kind of cool, actually. I remember getting one of those when I went to the movie theaters as a kid, and you would order like the kids combo pack, and for years after like Ghostbusters was a hit, you would still get the Slimer gummy tray with the kids combo pack.
So it's like 1996, you're lining up to see Twister and you got your Slimer gummy tray?
Yeah, pretty much. The Universal Studios attraction's already closed down, and I'm eating the Slimer gummy tray.
Oh, yum.
Which was better than the Slimer gum, arguably.
Oh, is that the stuff in the toothpaste tube?
Yeah, Slimer gum came in a toothpaste tube. I also had Ghostbusters toothpaste, and sometimes I would accidentally mix them up, and it wasn't fun.
Wow.
Yeah. What about saltier snacks?
I do miss the Planters cheese balls. There have been no other cheese balls that can even compare.
No, those were like the gold standard cheese balls. Planters, the company everybody knows for peanuts, made cheese balls.
Which, now that you say that, sounds really strange, but dang, they knew what they were doing with cheese balls.
Totally knew what they were doing.
And another Planters snack that I know you miss are PB Crisps.
Yes, I really miss PB Crisps. It was like a portable Nutter Butter, which I know you could already like put a Nutter Butter in your pocket, but imagine it even more condensed. It was like the shape of a peanut, and it was filled with peanut butter. And
it was like a graham cracker.
It was like a graham cracker cookie outer shell.
So kind of like bite-sized Nutter Butters.
Yeah, exactly. But, I think I was always more of a fan of the sweeter snacks, like fruit snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you eat a lot of fruit snacks as a kid?
I didn't eat too many fruit snacks, but the one that I loved, and I'm so bummed that it's discontinued, are So Delicious.
Oh, So Delicious, yeah. Yeah.
Those were so delicious.
I see what you did there. What you did there.
So you had your bottles of like Sprite and Coke and everything in there, but the best ones were the mugs of root beer.
Yeah, so instead of eating like the fruit-shaped candies, you're eating glass mugs and glass bottles. What was the idea here?
I'm not sure what they were thinking, but I'm not opposed to any of it because it was really good. I would always bite like the little tops off the bottles and pretend to drink it.
I still do that, but with actual soda bottles. Wait.
Ouch.
Youch. Wait.
I also enjoyed the Garfield fruit roll-ups.
Oh yeah.
So those were the blue ones.
Yeah, I remember those. And I think you could punch Garfield out on that, right?
I think so. I never played with them. I would just like roll them up and eat them.
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, fruit roll-ups was all about playing with it. I think there was a Sonic one where you could peel him out of the shape. Yeah. And it seems like it doesn't matter what color or flavor the fruit roll-up's supposed to be. They all taste exactly the same. There was that hyper color one that was like all tie-dye. You remember that was like green, yellow, and red? Yeah. And it still tasted like strawberry.
It still tasted like a fruit roll-up.
Yup. There was also String Thing. That was a pretty common one.
Oh, yeah.
That was another one you could play with. They were trying to figure out how they could get you to play with your food and have fun with it. And that was really exciting. Like Fruit by the Foot. Same kind of idea.
True, yeah. But then you had like sticky hands all recess.
# worth it.
Well.
See, fruit snacks were good because they were the only kind of candy that you could get away with sneaking into school.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you're going to bring a Snickers in. But you know what? You bring some Garfield fruit snacks, they're going to fly right under the radar.
What about pudding roll-ups?
Pudding roll-ups were pretty delightful. Do you remember how the commercial jingle went? New pudding roll-ups, it's pudding in disguise. Pudding roll-up, don't stick it in your eyes. It was pretty good.
That's a solid jingle.
Yeah, I liked all these candies that had these amazing commercials and always got discontinued. I had this horrible like track record for the kind of snacks that I like, that they'll be around briefly and then they're gone forever. I like the novelty candies. I like the Sonic the Hedgehog head. I like the Ninja Turtle fruit pies. These things go away. They don't last. And it's too bad.
It is.
Yeah, like Fruit Wrinkles, gone.
Aww.
Yeah. All these fruit snacks are great, but there's one that really stands out.
Go on.
It wasn't just cool.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just awesome.
Do tell me more.
Would you believe that it wasn't just fantastic?
I'd be hard-pressed to.
It was amazing fruit.
I see what you did there.
Now, you recall the commercials, right?
They had a great little commercial. I love the little gummy bears dancing into the bag with, like, the fruits on top of them.
All right, so we've talked about all these snacks that we can't get anymore. But what about what's out there? What would you recommend people try? What are your favorite snacks?
My favorite snack, probably my favorite candy, because as I said, I love cinnamon. I love hot tamales.
Yes.
And then for chocolate, I love anything with caramel. So Mars Caramel has been my chocolate bar for the last little bit. And then anything salty, I know this is going to be very polarizing for Doritos fans, but I'm a nacho cheese Doritos gal.
No, you're not.
Am I not?
No, it's Cooler Ranch or nothing.
It's nacho cheese, sorry.
It's nacho cheese. It's Cool Ranch.
Oh. Yeah, whenever I say I like nacho cheese, such as right now, the other person I'm talking to always defends Cool Ranch and states how much better Cool Ranch is. Maybe let's do a poll. What do you guys prefer, Cool Ranch or nacho cheese?
Listeners, you can reach us through our social media outlets and let us know. No.
Yeah, tweet us at PopRewind Online. It's going to be another like Team Lee thing, like with the FAQ fact thing.
I always assumed that Cool Ranch was the underdog flavor. I assumed most people liked the cheese one better.
You would think so, because it's more delicious.
You would think so, because it's wrong.
All right, so Lee, what are your recommendations?
Well, one that's kind of falling off the face of the earth again, unfortunately, but you might still be able to find a box out there, is Cherry and Bub from Mike and Ike.
Okay.
One of my absolute favorites. I'm going to have to say that Valo Milk is my candy of choice that you can still get, but it's kind of a hard to find one, so there's like a bit of a mystery to it.
Yeah, I know last time I was down you had given me one, just one, and it was so good.
Yeah, Valo Milk is a chocolate cup filled with this sticky marshmallow stuff that is so good. The chocolate's delicious. I've got to recommend Valo Milk.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've had enough of talking about candy and snacks, and I need to go find some candy and snacks.
As do I.
All right, then. Well, why don't we wrap up this podcast? Hey, where can you find us?
You can find us all over social media. We're on Twitter at PopRewind Online. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Google+, SoundCloud, YouTube. You can find us at PopRewind Online or just PopRewind, and you can visit us on the internet at www.poprewind.com.
I like how you sound like an auctioneer every time you read that off.
Do I?
Yeah. I want to, place the highest bid on one of those.
I got Google Plus for $2. $2 for Google Plus.
Yeah. I guess a silent auction doesn't really work when you're doing a podcast, does it?
It does not.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. I need to go eat some junk food. Hey, thanks for listening. I've been Lee.
I've been Linz.
And we're out of here. See ya.
Bye.
PopRewind.com